Shalom, shalom, shalom. Let's see what's going on here.
From every angle, this is how the shooting at the Correspondents' Dinner unfolded. Just after 8:30, this was the scene, set for the annual dinner. 2,500 in the room. In the lobby at the security checks, a man runs through the metal detectors. Shots are heard. It takes a moment for people in the room to react. The First Lady seems to be the first at the top table to realise what happened, she says. Look at this angle, 8:35. J.D. Vance, the Vice President, in the foreground. Then President Trump rushed out next. He falls to the floor in the chaos.
What appeared to be shots fired at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. It's just gone. 20 to 9.
What looked like Secret Service making their way through to the centre of the area now.
The nation's top politicians rushed away.
Are you okay, sir? Were you hurt?
They'd been seated as guests at various different tables.
We're all being told to stay in the ballroom at the moment. You can see just how many people are here. An extraordinary moment. The annual White House Correspondents' Dinner brought to a very, very frightening halt.
Alright, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory unto the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Ruach HaKodesh. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone who rule well. Peace and salutation to those who fully elect. This is your brother Ahmad Bayan, coming to you with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Ruach HaKodesh. Alright, and well, you see what taking place here. Alright, this happened a day ago, right? And I don't want to say too much about it, you know. I just letting the video speak for itself. You know, we're gonna get this like 2 scriptures and close it off, you know, because you know how Esau is. He does, you know, he quick to take down our videos, you know. And just to say one time, you know, fair use, you know, this is for education purposes only. Alright, so something like this that we saw, you know, that everyone saw taking place and whatnot, right? My honest opinion, you know, speaking as a man, you know, when I first saw it, it didn't feel real, right? It didn't feel real. It didn't feel like something that it just happened authentic, or you know, like that. But it wasn't feeling like that. It felt like it was staged, like fake, you know. And you know, when I went to the comments, you know, it had a lot of other people actually felt the same way, you know. And it says here, why does this feel fake, right? Other person say the vice president what's his name, Vance is more important than the president. So you know, it does always have the Trump supporters, right? OMG, I hope Trump is safe and well, right? Someone else say, I don't think this is real, you know. Someone else say, Lord, please protect President Donald Trump and his family, right? somebody else yes answer reply to them and say, don't worry, he'll never be hurt in these stage events, you know. And this is, you know, this is what a lot of people seeing, you know, because they're not feeling that type of way, you know. Now they say that they caught the fellow, right? And it says here suspect in the WHCD identified as Cole Thomas Haleen 31, right? So they will claim him and put him as what, someone so-called Iran, somewhat like that, you know. Which, as I say, this could possibly be not real, because, you know, Esau is going to try to do all kind of different things to just make people believe that, you know, that what transpiring today, you know, in these times, you know, is a reason why they have to, you know, go to war. There's a reason why they have to, you know, bring forth the digital system and whatnot. Everything that this devil is doing, you know, is all planned. Alright? It is all planned. And we know this. Right? It also have a next video that, you know, the lady that does normally, I forget her name, who does normally follow him, right? She was speaking about shots are going to fire, and, you know, they are so excited and whatnot. So let's just get that video real quick.
It'll be funny, it'll be entertaining. There will be some shots fired tonight in the room. So everyone should tune in. It's going to be really great. I'm looking forward to hearing it. It'll be funny, it'll be entertaining. There will be some shots fired tonight in the room. So everyone should tune in. It's going to be really great.
And look, the culprit right here, where it is the they had running through, you know, all those securities and whatnot, and nobody could not catch him, you know, until they caught him. But again, as I see, things like this, you know, the scriptures say they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves, right?
I'm looking forward to hearing it. It'll be funny, it'll be entertaining. There will be some shots fired tonight in the room. So everyone should tune in. It's going to be really great. I'm looking forward.
Esau, boy. What again this man will try to do. Now let's go to the book of St. John chapter 8 and verse 44. It says, "Ye are of your father the devil, the lust of your father he will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it." Right? That is how this devil is today. He's a liar and he's the father of it, you know. When you go back to Cain and Abel, Cain slew his brother Abel, you know. He's the first man that did what murder on the earth in that way, you know. Let's go to the book of Psalms 58 and verse 3. It says, "The wicked are strained from the womb, they go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies." Right? And that is how they are. That is how these devils are today. They go about speaking lies. Right? They stage stuff.
Forward to hearing it. It'll be fun.
Right? They stage stuff. They do things to basically bring a panic. Right? A panic, a worry. Alright? Just to do what? just to be able to push forward their agenda. You tell me, you know, Jake running through a whole squad of security, right? All this taking place. Come on, man. It's all come better than that. You know, and it has some people out there will look at these things and be like, you know, it is so, you know, this was so frightening, or they were so concerned and whatnot. You know, they will believe everything. You know why? Because they're simple-minded. This is Proverbs 14 and verse 15. It says, the simple believeth every word, but a prudent man looketh well to his going. Right? As the simple believeth every word. Right? And this is why we must never trust this devil. Alright? This devil, Esau Edom, so-called white man. This is Ecclesiasticus 12 and verse 10. Alright? It says, never trust thy enemy. For like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass. And thou shalt know that his rust has not been altogether wiped away. Right? So never trust this devil. Alright? He's just putting his things in place in order to bring forth his agenda. That is all he's doing. Right? He's coming on with great wrath, as the scriptures say in Revelation 12 and 12. Alright, because he knows that he has but a short time. Right? So this wasn't nothing too long. It's just straight to the point. You know, just to highlight what these idiots are doing. You know. So let them know. Shalom.